Hey guys, and welcome to the Glistening Experience, the internet only show where I, Andrew, am taught a thing or two about music. Why? Well, you see, what I like, but I feel like I could like it more. And that's where my friend Chris comes in. When it comes to music, he really knows his stuff. All the names, all the different kinds. He's going to hit me up with some sweet musical knowledge, and maybe, just maybe, it's going to lead me to a better understanding of music and a better understanding of why it's good. This is the Glistening Experience. Chris, Chris, are you there?
I'm here.
Great,
Andrew?
great. So, what are we talking about today?
Well, you might remember last week I had you doing some digging in my backyard, and I don't want to sore subject, but
Talk about sore subject. I'm still sore.
Well, I can see. I just mean some of your trenches. We talked about this. They weren't that straight, and it was taking you a long time. So I was saying, you need some music. We need to pump some music in here.
Yeah,
I know your tastes are really simple. So, but then later on, it occurred to me I could kick myself. Madchester music would have been ideal because that's kind of the whole thing behind it. Do you know this kind of music?
Manchester.
Yeah. Well, let me walk it back for you. So picture England. You picture like rolling green pastures, sheep, cities, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, they also have factories there. So, especially in this one town up north in England called Madchester, England.
Manchester. Okay.
Yeah. So it's full of city or factories. Lots of people, factory workers there. So you get off. You work a 20-hour shift at a factory. You get off. What do you want to do? You want to put on some music, some comfortable baggy jeans, tie-dye tank top or something, and a bucket hat.
You want your pint.
You want a pint. You want a
pint of Guinness,
or maybe a little little ecstasy to go along with your. It kind of all goes back to this record label, Factory Records, started by this guy Steve Coogan, and they started putting out this music to play at this club that they had called the Hacienda. So they would have DJs and stuff, and then they started having live music there. And the kind of bands that would play what we were talking about. They play, well, kind of on a spectrum. There'd always be this jangly kind of, there's always like this 60s vibe to it. So this jangly guitar, nice pop songs.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they'd put that over like a acid house beat or a disco beat or a funk beat or something. Not always. Earlier Manchester bands were like Mark E. Smith's band, The Smiths, is from Manchester. Joy Division, The Fall. So these are like famous Manchester bands. So they kind of took this like guitar sound and put the drums under it. Is basically where it comes from. So it's like that's kind of general, but again, it's like all this 60s like party. They did all kinds of different drugs.
It's fun. It's fun music.
Right. You work in a factory.
You want to have some fun.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's druggy. There's no one's going to argue about that. Yeah. So they would do
hard drugs.
Well, all kinds of different stuff, like anything from like ecstasy to MDMA or Molly. Any of those drugs, X. Sometimes they do that. It's a whole range of bands. So you had like the Stone Roses. Their style was to have like one of the best albums ever made. They did that. Then there's this band James. Their thing was to have like 2 or 3 really great songs.
Yeah. Were there there a bunch of James?
I think there was just the one. It's not like the Smiths where it was but it was just the one guy.
Cool.
So they had then you get like New Order, who are like generally pretty.
I heard of them. They had they had the song. I remember the video from
the Manchester City sound.
Yeah,
is that's the whole thing of it.
Like how U2 is like to Dublin. Like that's how.
Exactly. Right. When you think Dublin, you think U2.
They're from Ireland.
When you think Manchester, you think any one of these bands of varying quality. here in the United States, there are some people playing this kind of sound,
Yeah.
like this 60s jangle with a little bit of funky disco acid house sound.
Yeah.
And the
This sounds
the
great.
drums
That
part.
sounds, yeah.
So I think well, there's one guy that is sort of spearheading this scene. He's like just really influential. A lot of people are kind of following his lead and making this music again. So his name is Chip Flotator. He's from well, you used to say wrestling, parts unknown. He's from parts unknown. Nobody knows.
Cool. I haven't.
He just. Have you heard of him?
No, I haven't. Which is the point. This is cool. This is cool.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play stuff.
I don't want to hear. Yeah.
You've heard it.
No.
Right.
Yes.
So he's got some new stuff that he's ready to drop, and he actually agreed. I couldn't believe this. He agreed to actually do it on our show here, if that's okay.
Wow,
with
that's
you.
great. That's great. Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay.
So we're gonna have. Well, this is great. Okay, let me. You're gonna send me the thing, and I'm gonna.
Let me get on my phone.
Okay.
All right.
I have the Gmail, right? Send it to my Gmail, and
Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
You could have, well, whatever. All right.
Okay. Hey everybody, this is real exciting. Today, we're not just talking about Manchester. We're going to listen to Manchester from one of the premier new Manchester artists. His name is Chip Flotilla, and he is going. Yeah.
Flotator. Chip Flotator.
Chip Flotator is coming on the show, and he is going to play us some of his new music. All right, so I think I got. Hello, Chip.
Yes.
Chip.
Yes.
Hello, Chip.
Yes.
I got you. All right. Hi. Welcome to the show. This is the Glistening experience. You got me and Chris, who I believe you talked to Chris. You know Chris. I am Andrew. Happy to finally meet you, and I guess you're gonna tell us about your music.
I can do to make an inferior ensemble sound adequate, but a good ensemble or group or band can be improved by listening to the correct music. I've added the idea of clunk, a foreign melody, with the ability of musical colors represented in the different instruments of vowels, consonants, to the idea of giving each load a different duration, a different dynamic, a different fish, before we could repeat a not working well, see they could now, the relationships between our work and the module of the Corbusier, who tried the basis for a new method of architecture based on the blue, the red, and the world series. This reoccurs in the field with a lot of constructive painting, and it was done in the early 1950s by some constructivists.
Cool. Chris,
I just think it's fascinating, Chip, that you've kind of locked in on this kind of music, which is forgotten by many people and roundly detested by almost as many people as forgot about it, and really locked in on it, and then made something fascinating out of it. Could you speak to why this particular sound hit you or attracted you?
No, but we could speak about the strong influence on the musicians through certain books of the early 1950s, in particular books of Einstein. I don't mean the mathematical books, but the more generally understandable, or Heisenberg, or biologists, like Viennese from the Norman School, or Robert, Beth, Vina, Man and Machine. There was similar thinking everywhere, the reduction to the smallest possible element of the process of forming, and when I use the word forming, I use it in the sense that the crystallized result of the creative act of the form.
So, Cool. So Chip, what's it like in Manchester? Is it a cool town?
Libraries in Paris
Do you have?
was the only one that owned the scores. We all copied from each other. They've copied, and I have copied.
Good. Cool. So. All right. So Chip, are you ready to play the song
Yes,
for us?
let us
All right.
proceed.
All right. Cool.
What now?
Cool. What do you want to tell us about this new track? It's fresh. Fresh track. I'm sure you have a lot to tell us.
What we learn in school since the 15th century, when we make music, and still nowadays, is that this is the best training for musical minds, to study this. It has complete new meaning because it literally means, for the first time, not melody composition after another work, for August 2nd, which is called points, focus points, 2 points for the orchestra.
Well, I tell you what, you made me just want to hop on an airplane and head right over to England, and hear some more of this Manchester music. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Chip. Chip Flotator.
Out and playing a whole mass of notes.
I think we're going to wrap things up now, and Chris, thank you again. I feel so much more about this. And Chip, amazing stuff. Amazing. You're amazing. You're great. And your music, I loved it. And I can't wait to hear more of it. And that is the Glistening Experience. Thanks for coming.
I broke my own systems.